Hey, welcome to the what?
Yeah.
But let's get into the first part of the show, man. What can we say, man?
What can we say?
About Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier? Boy, bars.
Bars. Bars. Dropping bars. Look,
Dropping
5 minutes
bars.
on the clock. We might have to run it back, but for right now, 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get started. So, we had ourselves a fight yesterday, didn't we?
I don't know if it was a fight.
It started out.
It started out with some they were throwing some blows there for a second, a lot of kicks. Conor came out. It looks like he adjusted a little bit from the last fight. He started throwing some leg kicks himself.
You can't kick me if I kick you first.
Exactly. It was a good strategy. But I've seen this a lot in other fights, man. I've seen that the person throwing the kicks, if it's checked correctly, there's been some leg breakages in the
It seems
past
to
fights.
always happen in these big fights. I said that too.
Yes,
Something always seems to happen like that in these big fights. It's
I wish
so
they would just
weird.
throw them hands. Just throw them hands, man. Just throw them hands.
Just throw them dub deuces and them
'Cause
bugalows.
if you break a hand, you got another one. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about Dustin Poirier, man.
Dustin Poirier comes out on
Dustin
top.
Poirier.
Dustin Poirier got everything he needed. This is what he did now. He went out there, he got that W, and then also he got paid.
He did. He did get paid.
He made a lot of money and he whipped a lot of ass. That's all he can ask for right now.
That's all. I don't know if he whipped a lot of ass, but he whipped ass.
So we'll talk about it. Because
he was on top.
He was on top.
He was doing a little bit of damage with his elbows. Conor couldn't get him off. But I mean, I feel like Dustin was going to win that fight, especially if he would have kept or stayed on the ground. He had a lot of things that Conor couldn't counter, but there might be something to that, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later. Though I know you got something to say about that, but Dustin did. He looked like he was faster, especially on the feet, and when he got to the ground, he avoided the submission, and Conor just didn't have an answer for him. But them leg kicks, though, if those leg kicks would have came through to the second or third, it might have been a Dustin Poirier reverse for Conor McGregor, because he might have did a lot of damage where he can start connecting to that left hand.
That's crazy though. He was like, "You gonna kick me? You gonna kick me? I kick you back." And then he caught him with a I think he caught him with a left, and then Dustin caught him, and then McGregor did the thing he did in that first Diaz fight. He said, "Huh, hey, look, you remember that thing I said about us wrestling?
Oh, let's wrestle.
Let's wrestle." So he started wrestling, and then it was over from there. 2 10-8 scorecards.
What?
2 10-8 scorecards from two of the refs. They turned the scorecard in.
That was not a 10-8.
The criteria of which they judge these fights blow my mind.
That was not a 10-8. Maybe a 10-9. I would give it a 10-9 because Dustin had a lot of control on the ground, and half the fight was on the ground, and Dustin was on top. But you got to give it to Conor standing up. He had a lot of leg kicks that were landing, and he did get him into a submission before he got put into a position where Dustin was on top. So I don't understand that 10-8, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Conor said submissions don't count.
It don't. It's just knockouts, baby. Just knockouts.
So look, let's get to some conspiracy on this. All right. So
yeah, man, you got something to say about this, man. I want to hear this, man. I want to hear this.
This is what I'm thinking happened in the fight. So this could have been the kick right here. We tried to find it on a timestamp, which one might have did. And I'm pretty sure Poirier addressed the fact that whenever he checked one of those kicks, he was like, I bet that one hurt. Now, if Conor knew that something was wrong when he threw one of those kicks and he got it checked, and he went, oh no, a little fracture, and then when he stepped back, it finished the job. That little twist in action caused it to break. And maybe that's why he jumped that guillotine. But you see a couple things whenever he jumped that guillotine. Like, I think he had a chance to pull guard on that guillotine because he went first and he didn't really have it. And then the second one, he had the elbow that he was pulling high. And I was like, huh. And if he jumps guard right there, instead of letting him pass, maybe he gets it. But guess what? He knew his ankle would hurt. He can't cross them things because one of them did the little thing. So maybe that's why Conor was like, hey, I'm going to try to finish this with a guillotine real quick. And he got up, he threw a couple, took a step back, and I don't even want to show it. Oh,
Oh my goodness, he stepped right on it. Oh, but I have never been in a position where I stepped on my ankle, dog. He was throwing a punch, he missed, stepped back, and all of a sudden he stepped on his ankle. That thing looked like it was broke the whole time, and it was just waiting for an awkward movement to actually break completely. It felt like he broke that earlier in the fight with that one kick
yeah.
because it doesn't supposed to, your leg don't supposed to do that.
Legs don't do
Your
that.
leg, your leg don't do that. It don't supposed to do that. And you can tell initially when he stepped back on it, that pain was excruciating. And I mean, your boy got heart, man. Your boy got heart because he laid down, and I felt like he didn't want to. I feel like he didn't want to bow down. I feel like he wanted to finish it, but it's one of those things where you got one leg, you got one leg. You can't do nothing about that.
And then he was in the doctors and stuff was coming and they was doing. He's like, bruh, you don't see my leg? Look at my leg.
Joe,
And
dude,
then
hey, hey,
did it like fall over or something? He
something
was
like
trying to
that, man.
show him and it like popped up and
Yeah.
over and the whole crowd was like, ooh. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I don't
No,
need to see that.
you know what the messed up part about it was he stepped on his ankle, leg, or whatever and broke it, right? No one really saw it from from the corner.
Yeah.
So the doctors jump in because he said it's broke. And they're looking at his ear because I think he was bleeding out his ear, and the
Yeah.
doctor's standing over his leg, right?
Uh
Cleaning up the blood coming out his ear, and Connor's like, my leg
bruh,
is
my
broke.
leg, man. Get
He
my leg.
almost stepped on his leg, dog.
Oh man, that'd have been
That
terrible.
shit, that'd have been terrible.
That'd
That'd
have
have
been
been terrible. I would have
terrible.
sued his ass.